Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to show you the best way to do the Ash Abode. You can see here that I've made it over 2,000 points and the multipliers are insane. So this is going to be extremely difficult and there's going to be something that happens at the end that I'm not going to tell you about yet. Okay, so again, you've got 25 minutes to complete it. I'm doing mostly Fire Mage 3 right now. If you are at a lower level, if you're below 1700, this video is going to seem crazy difficult, and that's just because I'm at over 2,000 level, and a Child of Ash, a ranged unit, has that over, almost 2,000 hit points. So it's very difficult at this level. You don't have to worry about that, but it is still coming. But it's still good to watch it, especially with like these plaguey draggers, like just using the wall to make sure they don't do damage to me. You are going to go through this door, not these other two. And you're going to come up with an obstacle. This obstacle is a little bit different than some of the other ones. Pretty easy to run through there. This one I had a little bit of a brain fart and I ended up going the wrong way. But the way to go on this one is when right here, you run this way. And then once you get to here, then right there, you run through here. And for some reason, I was trying a different path out and it didn't work out. So here you use that lever to turn off the trap, and then you open this door. If you don't turn off that trap, you are going to get stuck with this Child of Ash, and it is going to be brutal. So turn off the trap before you open the door. All right, and then you got this Servant of Ash. These guys are pretty easy. They're just like any other giant. I love using bolas on giants. They do have 6,000 hit points at this level, but yours won't. Just kill them the same way I taught you how to kill Servants of Ash in my Forge videos. That will give you every different type of tactic with every type of weapon you might have, going from shovels all the way to... Actually, I don't even cover doing it with the Rastaff, so this is... not something I cover in the video. I cover a lot cheaper items in that video. So then you get the Plaguey, you run over there. I almost got hit that time, and if those guys hit you, you're dead. Like, do not let them hit you. But they're not that hard to avoid, as long as you use the wall trick. Alright, use that wall trick again for that guy. Then I'm going to get this giant to come at me. I come all the way back over and I avoid the archer and kill this guy instead. You can see here at 2,000 points, we're talking about 2,500 health for just a normal Dark Drugger. It is pretty brutal. You will not have to deal with that. And if you're below 1,700, my recommendation would be either the Assassin or the Rogue, if you can reset things with the Rogue, or just the Assassin with the Fire Dagger. You can pretty much one-shot everyone, which is amazing. But once it gets higher and higher level, it gets harder and harder. Then you've got a different story you're working with. A lot of Plagueys in this one. So if you do not know how to use this wall trick, you might want to go practice on the Forge itself. Because, if they hit you, especially if it has big multipliers, you're going to die. So here you're avoiding these two enemies over here, and you're just killing these three over here. Sadly, one of those is a giant, which, that always, they just have so many hit points. All right, then once you kill that last archer and you get this room, you can attract one of them at a time. Now I'm trying to get this guy one at a time with all 2,500 hit points he has. Then I'm gonna get the Servant of Ash to attack me using Ebola. And I went ahead and killed these guys. It wasn't bad. One was a Plaguey, one was another archer. You don't have to kill them, but sometimes it gives you just a little bit more mobility. I would say I shouldn't have killed him. I didn't need to. I could have run him the other way. But it is nice to have this circle. And especially with how many hit points they have right now, it's just nice. All right, and then we got this last Child of Ash. Then you're gonna come over here and open this door for the second trap of this challenge. So here, again, it's not hard. You just kind of run there when those two go away, and then you run there when those three go away. So that was a pretty easy one. If you look too much at the fire, it can kind of throw you off. Just focus on your path. What path are you wanting to go? Now this one can be a little tricky because you've got the giant and the Child of Ash at the same time, which, you know, anytime you've got a giant and a ranged character, it can kind of be hard because you're having to, the giant ends up getting in front of the ranged character, which creates that meat shield, but the ranged character can damage you from afar. It's just really annoying. But you'll notice that I clicked on the Child of Ash, which allowed me to target him quicker and go ahead and kill him. Once he's dead, then I can start focusing on the Servant of Ash the normal way that I've been focusing on them. So I haven't even talked about all these doors that I'm not opening. I hope you're seeing which doors I'm not opening. All of those have enemies with thousands of hit points that you do not need to kill. So don't go those ways. All right, here I'm not opening this door. I am opening this door. This is the fastest way to get there. Again, another combo of, you know, it's not a giant, but it's still a meat shield with a ranged character. It really sucks. Those are the ones that can trick you, and they can make you use a lot of your armor, which is rough. All right, and then you're gonna open this door. Do not open this door. You're gonna be greeted with 1 or 2, depending on how you open the door, and that's, you know, it's easy to avoid them if you know what you're doing, but you just have to, you know, do it right. Get the sharpshooter to come at you, and then you got another Servant of Ash with another 6,000 hit points. Again, it should be easier for you guys, but it's still a lot of, even though I just made you avoid so many giants by all those rooms that you didn't have to go at, there's still a ton of giants that you're going to end up having to kill, and they just get so brutal as the multipliers increase. Okay, so here is the boss. You got the Whisper, and lean him over to this room, and the Whisper is, if you have not seen my video on killing the Whisper in the Forge, I go through all of his mechanics, exactly how to kill him, what weapons to kill him with. This is going to be way harder because all of his multipliers are higher, but you can see here I'm taking him over to the circular area, which allows me to kind of run around. So maybe I take it back. Maybe I'd say go ahead and clear those 2 little guys, just because having this circle for killing the Whisper is really nice. And I'm using a Reaper staff, which I'm running low on my Wrath staff. So I was using these other weapons and it ended up being kind of a mistake, but I've got my 5 stacks. I'm trying to do a lot of damage. He's just got a lot of hit points, but by waiting until he uses his skill like this, then it allows me to do a lot of damage. Right now, I'm getting a ton of damage on him without him doing any damage on me, which is really nice. And I'm still keeping my stacks up high. Once he uses that skill, then he'll use his other skill, and you want to really maximize how much damage you do during that time. So this is basically the tactic. You really want to capitalize on if he does get a shot on you, which some of the ranged weapons let it to where he doesn't even get that. But if he does get that shot on you, you want to know that next time he gets close to you, he's going to use his like fireball skill, and that's when you want to get in and do a ton of damage as quickly as you can. And then we've got that purple thorns up right there. You do not want to attack him because that is when he's going to use damage reflect, and he's going to do a crazy amount of damage because those multipliers actually count on your own damage. So you can see here I got him really low health and I'm almost got him killed, and then he throws out that damage reflect and I do 800 damage to myself. That Reaper staff that was doing 113 damage, it then got repelled back at me at 8 times damage, and I just one-shotted. And you could see that when I started shooting, he didn't have the skill up. He started the skill, and it was up by the time my arrow my Reaper staff shot got to him, and it was over. And then I lost all of those points. So you can see here that in the beginning that I was over 2,000. I lost 17 points, and so it brought me back down below 2,000 had to earn that back. And that is what it gets to. Once you hit the 2,000 range, you are talking about an absolute exponential grind. Very difficult to do. So I do not recommend it. I've said this in my other videos. I do not recommend trying to get this high unless you know what you're getting into. It's awesome to go for the armored boar and the ice fox. It's such a cool thing that the devs made the exponential grind for a really cool rare skin. But the normal boar and normal fox can still have the same skills, and the witch doctor is attainable to free-to-play players. So if you're just going to have the competitive advantage in the game, you can just do the free-to-play stuff. This is going to consume way more of your weapons. But if you're super rich, if you're like, I've got tons of wrath staffs, I got massives of wrath staffs, and you're like, I don't know what to do with all my wealth, this is what to do with your wealth. You are going to consume so much of your wealth doing this, but if you get that armored boar, everyone is going to know you're good at this game, because even though they'll know that you are either you've been playing for a really long time and are very, 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 very wealthy, and they know that you consumed so much of that wealth to do this, or they know you're pay to win. But it doesn't matter, because even a pay to win player and even someone who's super wealthy can't do this unless they're also good. It's just too difficult. It's too easy to die. So if you've got that wealth and you want to know what to spend it on, go get that armored boar. All right, guys. See you next time.